How could you abandon your own brother? My parents snapped when I refused to fund his new business. I didn't yell. I didn't beg. I just walked out. This morning, they finally found out where I went. But, "Stop pretending like you're some saint, Jack," Elias shouted, his finger stabbing the air at me. His voice echoed across the dining room, sharp and ugly. Dad's fist hit the table. Glasses shook, water spilled. "How could you abandon your own brother? Blood is blood. You don't walk away when family needs you." I sat still, my back straight, hands pressed together on my lap. I didn't answer. I watched their faces instead. The red in Dad's cheeks, Mom's trembling lips, Elias's smug grin that looked more like a dare. "You'd rather waste your money on strangers than help your own flesh?" Mom's voice cracked. What kind of son turns his back like this? Elias leaned closer, his tone low but poisonous. "You think they don't know? You think I've kept your secret this long for nothing?" The room went silent. Chairs creaked as everyone shifted, eyes now on me. My chest stayed steady, but inside I felt the old wound opening again. "My name is Jack Arden. I'm 26, and for most of my life, I've been the quiet one, not because I had nothing to say, but because no one ever cared to listen. They called it being peaceful. Truth is, it was survival. If I spoke, I was wrong. If I stayed silent, I was invisible. Invisible felt safer. But silence has a weight. Every year it grew heavier. I've carried their fights, their lies, their shame, like bricks in my chest. And tonight, as Elias dangled those words like a knife, I realized I'm not the only one who knows the truth. Family members introduced. Dad, Martin Arden, 58. Voice like thunder, always certain he's right. His pride has teeth. It bites anyone who disagrees, especially me. Mom, Lydia, 55. She cries easily, but her tears have never been for me. She's mastered the art of silence that protects the golden child. Brother, Elias, 28. The center of every room. Charismatic, reckless, always landing on his feet. Because I was the one they pushed down to cushion his fall. Sister, Clara, 22. Quiet, watchful, slipping through the edges of every fight. But her eyes tell stories she never speaks. Dad, maybe Jack has a point, Clara whispered, barely audible. Stay out of this, Dad barked, waving her off like dust in the air. My mother's tears fell harder. Why can't you just be like him, Jack? Why can't you be more like Elias? And there it was. The same sentence I'd heard all my life. Only this time I didn't flinch. It wasn't just about money. It was about the hot inheritance. The last thing my grandfather left behind, Elias wanted all of it to pour into his new dream, another flashy business he swore would make him rich. A nightclub this time. Grandpa would have trusted me, Elias said with a smirk. I almost laughed. Grandpa didn't trust you with his lawnmower. Why would he trust you with his life savings? Dad's jaw tightened. Don't disrespect your brother. Mom's voice shook. This isn't like before, Jack. He promised. He's changed. Before. Her mistake. Her slip. I leaned back slowly. Changed or covered his tracks better this time? Elias's smirk faltered. Just a flicker, but I saw it. You've always been jealous, Jack, Dad snapped, his face red now. Elias is a doer. You sit around judging. That's all you know. Judging? I said softly. Funny, I've been silent most of my life. Elias chuckled, a cruel sound. That silence makes you look guilty. Always has. His eyes locked on mine. A warning. A dare. For the first time in years, I felt anger rise. Not as fire, but as steel. I leaned forward, my voice steady, almost cold. Funny thing about victims, Elias. Sometimes they remember more than you want them to. The room froze. Even Dad went quiet. Elias's smirk twitched, and in that silence I knew. I finally had their attention. I was 17. It was late. The garage reeked of gasoline and smoke. The sound of crunching metal still plays in my head. Elias had wrecked Dad's car after drinking. He was shaking, terrified, Please, Jack, please. You're underage. If I take the fall, Dad will kill me. You're my brother. Help me. I remember the cuffs cold on my wrists, the flashing red-blue lights against my face, Dad screaming at me for ruining everything. Elias? He stood behind the cops, hands in his pockets, lips curved in relief. I took the blame. I wore the shame. For him. And he never thanked me. Clara saw me that night, sitting alone in the driveway after they released me. She saw my hands trembling. She never spoke. But she knew. Back in the dining room, Elias slammed the table. Don't dig up old lies. You're not innocent either, Jack. Don't act like some victim now. Dad snapped. That's enough. But his eyes weren't on Elias. They were drilling into me. Always me. And then, Clara's voice, clear and shaking but strong. Tell them, Jack. Tell them what he did to you. Every head turned. My heart thudded in my chest. Elias froze. His smirk cracked. For the first time, he looked afraid. The house erupted. Dad shouting, Mom crying, Elias throwing curses at both of us. But I didn't raise my voice. I didn't have to. I gave you all my silence, I said, standing slowly. My chair scraped the floor like thunder. Tonight, I give you the truth. I told them everything. The crash, the blame, the years of covering his mess, the way they never questioned, never believed, never cared. Mom gasped like the air had been stolen from her lungs. Dad looked at Elias with doubt for the first time. And Clara finally met my eyes, tears running down her cheeks. Elias shouted, He's lying! He's bitter! He's jealous! But the smirk was gone. The mask was broken. The shouting slowed. The tears dried. I stood taller than I ever had in that house. Elias tried to reach for Mom's hand, but she pulled away. Dad sat in silence, fists clenched but no words left. Clara followed me as I walked to the door. Jack, I should have spoken up years ago. I'm sorry. I nodded. We all did what we had to do to survive. But I'm done surviving for them. And with that, I left. No anger. No begging. Just freedom. The morning felt different. The air wasn't heavy anymore. For the first time, I wasn't dragging their secrets like chains behind me. They might never forgive me. They might twist the story. But I wasn't their scapegoat anymore. I thought of Grandpa's words whispered years ago before he passed. Jack, one day you'll understand. Carrying silence isn't strength. Speaking is. Today I finally understood. For the first time, I was free. If you were in my place, would you forgive them, or would you walk away forever? Tell me in the comments. I want to hear your voice. If Jack's story touched you, hit like and subscribe for more true-to-heart stories that dig deep into family pain and healing. Because sometimes silence is the heaviest prison, and breaking it is the only way to survive.